Lunch break with Ekow Mensah. A big welcome to episode 14 of Lunch Break with Ekow Mensah. I am so excited to come your way this Tuesday. I don't know how your day is going, but I hope it's productive so far. Today, we're going to talk about positives that can become negatives. And this morning, I shared a post on seven positive things that can be negative when you overdo them, I shared part one of it. So there are seven of them, actually eight. I would put two together. So there are seven of them, and I shared the first three this morning. I'll share the remaining four probably on Thursday, because tomorrow is for women, so I focus my attention on women on Wednesday. So I'll share the remaining on Thursday, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But a very good friend of mine said that most of my live videos should be focused on throwing more light on my articles that I post in the morning. So I think I would listen to her and do just that, so that we can have a bit more discussion on some of the thoughts that I share with you every morning right here on Facebook. So welcome to episode 14. I'm always trying to find music that we can play that Facebook is not going to stop our videos in there. But if you have any nice, encouraging, empowering music, please share with me so that I can be sharing it on my lunch break live sessions as well. So it's a bit lively, it's a bit interactive, and we get to enjoy lunch together. So welcome. Too much of everything is bad, and maybe except too much of love. But even that one, if you don't take care, you'll be taken for granted and your heart will be broken. But that does not mean that it's not a good thing, all right? So too much of love is not a bad thing. But generally, the rule is too much of everything is bad. That means that don't overindulge in everything. I mean, everything should be in some sort of a moderation. But I don't think it is same for certain things. Like too much of passion may not necessarily be bad if it's not, in tandem with direction, knowledge, insights, and things like that. So it's by itself, or whatever you're doing by itself, if you do too much of it, will probably end up being bad. So these seven positive things that can be negative when you overdo them are things that generally they are very positive. Okay, your life will be far better, your career will be better, your business will be better if you are doing these things. But if you see that you are overdoing them, that's a cause for concern, because they may not necessarily be giving you the feedback or the expected result, because it probably would be working against you. All right, so the first one we are going to talk about, and I'm sure for a lot of you ambitious people out there like myself, this is something that you would probably relate to, all right, which is having ideas. And in itself is not a bad thing. Honestly, having ideas in itself is not a bad thing at all, but having too many of them is where the challenge may be. Some of you have ideas at every turn. Like wherever you turn, you have ideas. All right, so there isn't much you can do about that. But the challenge is, what do you do with those ideas? Having too many ideas can actually be negative, and this is the reason why. Ideas in itself aren't worth much if they remain in that form. Okay, so ideas in itself, or in themselves, are not worth that much if they remain as just ideas. All right, so having a lot of them does not really add that much value to your life. Okay, having too many ideas does not necessarily add value to your life. What you need, which would be more valuable, is execution, because really that is what tells the difference between someone with ideas and someone that has succeeded with those ideas. All right, so if you don't execute, and if you don't ensure that the ideas that you're having are coming into full form, are coming into a state that they've been actualized, then just having the ideas can eventually be negative, because you would get to a point in your life where you feel very unsatisfied, very upset with yourself. You feel very disappointed in yourself because you had all these ideas and you really did not have, you did not transform these ideas into anything tangible. So then in seeing these ideas at a stage in your life, you tend to actually regret, and that's a negative, because having too many of them sometimes overwhelms you and you don't even know what to do. And sometimes too, when you have a lot of ideas and they all sound good to you, ideas are like kids. Everybody loves their kids regardless of what form, shape, or whatever they come out. The innate love you have for your kids is the same innate love you have for your ideas. And some of you have ideas that frankly may not work, but you're so excited about it that people get excited for you. And then momentarily, you tend to see some result in your efforts to implement these ideas. But on the long haul, or in the long run, it probably would not work, But the excitement and passion for which you drive your ideas also, excite other people who then tend to want to help you. But the truth is, having too many ideas can actually be negative, because you probably will not be able to implement all of them at the magnitude that you are supposed to. A friend of mine, very good friend of mine, once called me. I think we're having a meeting, and then you know how people are very concerned about you and they want to advise you and all that. So one thing that she said was, Ekow, I know you have a lot of ideas, but go deeper with them. All right. She actually used a fancy domusuko. Is that it? Like, go deep with your ideas, because you see, it's not the number of ideas that you have that would make you successful. It's actually the number of those ideas that you actualized, that you executed, or that you're able to transform into some sort of a value. So you could decide that you would be one that sells ideas. That is something, so you don't necessarily implement those ideas, but you bring them into a state that you can literally just sell them. So maybe you patent them, you do a concept paper, or you collaborate with others to implement. But whatever the thing is, the more ideas you have, the more you have to find ways of making them work. So having ideas is good. But you see, if you're pursuing success in life, if you're pursuing a life of fulfillment, there are 3 stages you should consider, especially if you're one person that has a lot of ideas. The first stage you should consider is the stage where those ideas keep coming to you. There's nothing you can do about that. All right? They come to you all the time. They come to you all the time. So in that first stage, all you can do is just put them down. Don't immediately start implementing. Just put the ideas down. Put the ideas down. All right? And of all those ideas, look at one that you can really call a cash cow. Okay? What idea amongst all the ideas you keep getting daily would be that idea that can make you the most money? Because you see, you as a person need to be able to get to the stage where you have value in the form of cash to pay other people to use their time, expertise, and knowledge to actualize your ideas for you. I will explain. So the first stage is documenting your ideas. Put them down. If you have what it takes, you can even turn those ideas into concept papers and then put them down. If you have to patent them, patent them. If you have to register them, you can register them. But of all those ideas, look at the one that can make you the most money. Because it is with that money that you can also get other people to implement those other ideas that you have. So the 3 stages: document your ideas, implement the ones that are lucrative, because that money you get would also give you the opportunity to get other people to implement the rest for you. And examples of this is in companies like the Jospon Group. Started as Zoom Lion. All right, and now they have over 60 subsidiaries in the Jospon group of companies. Over 60 subsidiaries, and headed by one man. Okay, so when you look at it, how is he able to do that? And these are all ideas that he probably had, or opportunities that he, chanced on. But the system he's running is that he got the cash cow, which was Zoom Lion. Like you all know, and these are stories that we know publicly. It's not like we've had any meeting or whatever. But then looking at the evolution of the Jospon group, you realize that they started with the Zoom Lion, which was a cash cow. It met a particular need. It met a particular problem that the country was having. And it targeted the right customer, which is the government, the municipal assemblies, because they had that problem. So by his solving that problem, he was able to generate enough cash to now be able to implement other ideas that he has. And some of those ideas he has are probably in the form that people are already doing it. So then he wants to have a TV station. He doesn't have to start a TV station from scratch because he's been able to turn his cash cow into cash that now he can use that cash to buy Metro TV. Those are the 3 stages. So for everybody that is listening to me that has a lot of ideas, these are the 3 stages that those ideas have to go through. The one is document those ideas. Maybe even the timing is wrong. You understand? So if the timing is wrong, maybe you want to do a metaverse university. The timing is not right yet. Even the whole technology of metaverse is now being done. So if you want to do a metaverse university, it probably will take some time, but you can put that down. If you want to do a bank that is only dealing in Bitcoin, you have to put them down, because if you're in Ghana, that probably has not gotten there yet, because policy has not, caught up with, technology yet. So you put the ideas down, and then out of all of them, which one can make you the most money? And that is what you exert your energy, you exert your knowledge, you exert everything to make sure that you are getting a lot of money from that. And out of the money you make from that, now the money tends to get other people and other companies working on your ideas for you. So if you ever wondered what do you do with all these ideas, select 1 or 2 of them that you can exert yourself to making it work. And then when you've made it work, and making it work mainly is not just about implementing it. You just do it and you're happy and you move to the next thing. No, it's about how much money can you make from this. Because the 3rd stage is the money would have to work for you. And that's what is happening all around that. When you look at the Jospon group, when you look at the Tobinco group, when you look at the Melcom group, all those group of companies, they always start with a cash cow and evolve it into other things that when we see, we get amazed. And these are local examples. When you talk about foreign examples like the Dangote group, when you talk about groups like Amazon, that has so many companies under it. When you talk about the Tata Group, it all starts from there. You as an individual may have a lot of ideas, but in the ideas themselves, there's no worth. So focus on the one that can make you money and use the money to now transform those ideas into tangibles. So that's the first one, having ideas. If you have too many of them and you're not focusing on implementing, it can be negative. The second one is having friends. When social media has made this term friends very casual, and for me, one of the things I'm doing this year is, if I call you a friend on Facebook, you have to know me. I have to know you. I mean, it's not just about clicking and confirming somebody's friendship. That's not what friendship is all about. No. Friendship is supposed to be an intentional activity. To be able to build a relationship with someone that you can leverage on and the person can leverage on. It's about establishing a connection of mutual benefit. That's what friendship is. So it's not just about send a friend request and then I accept and we are friends. We are not friends. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. So me saying I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, does it mean that if ever I get to a point in my life where I am in hardship, I'm going to get 5,000 people to come to my aid? Is that what it means? Is that what it means? Or I have 5,000 people that just want to take away from me? Having friends is a good thing because everybody needs someone. Everybody needs a clan. Everybody needs a clique. Everybody needs people that they can count on. But just the act of making friends in itself is positive, but doing it too often and with too many people can be negative. Friendship is a big deal. And a lot of you think you have friends. You probably just have acquaintances. Because when it matters most, you would probably have nobody that can vouch for you, that can be there for you, that can, be in the same space with you to hold you up. So, making friends is a good thing. And especially if you find yourself at the extrovert side of personality, temperament, and all that, you make friends easily. You establish rapport easily. You meet somebody with just with a smile, you guys are having conversation. And sometimes you meet people that you feel you've known them for years. Because you have so many things in common. You have the same energy, and then that's it. But is that all what it takes to make friends, to have friends? No. So having too many friends can actually be negative. Because you see, there's one thing that our parents used to tell us, particularly my parents, that be careful of friends because they can make and unmake you. And there's an adage in Chi or in Fanti that says that Abwabi Bekawa, it is from your own cloth. What it means is that it is the person that has privileged information that can hurt you, not the one that is a stranger. And that's why you need to be careful about the friends you make. That's why you need to be careful about the people you call friends. Because if you've not intentionally started building that connection of trust over time, you can't call anybody friends. Is there a sense of dependability in this friendship? How many of my 5,000 plus Facebook friends can I depend on? How many of them can I send a text and say, Charlie Guy, I need help. Could you give me some money? Could you give me some help? Can you pray for me? How many of them? They just send friend requests. We just send friend requests. And social media has made the connection so light. There's no substance to it. But if I call somebody my friend, I want to be able to tell the person that you can depend on me, I can depend on you. And friendship that lasts a lifetime are the things that we need to pursue. You see, when you're growing, your circle has to be smaller and closer. When you're growing, your circle has to be smaller and closer. Because these are people that you are sharing a lifetime of memories and legacy with. So, be careful of the people that you bring around you. And be careful of the people that you end up being around. Because they really do determine who you become, how you think, and what you do. Making friends can really be negative if you're overdoing it. And the third thing is being optimistic. Oh, see, culturally we are culturally we are made to be very optimistic. We are oriented to be optimistic because of our belief and our religion. All right, and that's what culturally is. It's about. Because of our belief and our religion, we tend to have faith. And that's why even when somebody is going through a lot of issues, a lot of hardship, and you ask them, how are you? They say, I'm fine. It is something that we've been so oriented with. So even when we are not fine, we still say, I'm fine. Okay? And anytime you ask somebody, how are you? And they start giving you a story, you get shocked. And you probably, like, what's happening? Because your expectation was the norm. How are you? I'm fine. But if you say, how are you? Well, I'm not sure at this moment. I think that from yesterday, what's happening? I don't have time for stories. And these are people that you call friends, family, and all that. Because we are oriented in a certain way that we need to be positive. And religiously, We are oriented to be positive, especially Christians. It is well. God is in control. In His time, all things will be beautiful. And all those things are nice. Trust me, all those things are nice. But sometimes being overly optimistic prevents us from facing reality and coming up with pragmatic solutions to the problems that we are facing. Honestly, sometimes when you keep being very optimistic, everything is going to be okay, everything is going to be okay, sometimes you actually end up being very lazy. When you need to get up and get the thing running, when you need to get up and get things going, you just say, oh, it's going to be fine. In God's own time, everything is going to be beautiful. Which time is not God's time? Is it your time? Every day is God's time. And if you are not ready to actually implement whatever you have been thinking about, at least start reading on it. At least start, doing your try and error. At least start meeting people and talking about it. Do something. You just sit down and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You have an idea and you put all your money in it, your investments and everything, and then you just believe. You have an iota of faith that it's going to be okay. When research is showing that it's not going to be okay. In this modern Ghana or modern world, you are optimistic that your cassette idea will succeed. Cassette. Even God has stopped giving cassette blessings. Even CD-ROM. So how do you tell me that everything is going to be okay? It's not going to be okay. And sometimes we don't, because we are very optimistic as human beings, we don't tend to really sit down and do an extensive problem solving and strategic planning session. You're not making money. Every year you have all these plans. Every year you have all these goals. Every year you have all these resolutions. And you keep believing and you keep believing and you keep doing the same thing. Doing the same thing and expecting different results is a clear definition of what we call insanity. Insanity. Because you're doing the same thing. You keep praying and praying and praying and praying, and that disease is not going. Go get help. Because you see, God is the one that has given solutions to man, so that a lot of the things that you would pray for, you don't need to pray about. Just go get help. Because the wisdom that men have to treat diseases and illnesses was given by God. And you're just sitting there and you are rotting away. And you're optimistic. You tried something, it didn't work, you're optimistic, you can go get a job, my brother. Go get a job, my sister. It's not working. You are growing. You tried business, you've done it for years, it's not working. It's not. The evidence shows. Everything about you shows that, Charlie, the thing, they work. So you can continue, but go get a job. Go and work for someone. Because with all the things you've been through, you're going to be very resourceful to somebody whose business is working. Tisha says, I totally agree. Optimism may cloud our judgment or keep us from addressing issues. It is true. Your marriage is not working. It's not about the dawn prayers. It's not. See, it's not all. You can be optimistic, you can have faith and all that. And I'm not speaking, I told you, these are things that are positive in nature, but when you overindulge, when you overdo it, they tend to be negative. The marriage is not working. You are dying inside. Why are you still there? What are you looking for? You are staying because of the kids. When you die, who will take care of them? You're not happy with your work. So why are you still there? Maybe it's because the small money that you are getting, and you don't have, the confidence that you probably get another job. So even though you are being harassed, even though you are being abused, you are still there. The relationship is not working. It's not working. Every time you are seeing signs that this guy is not faithful, and you are still there. You are ever forgiving, ever loving, and ever optimistic that he will change. He will change in a relationship. He will change in marriage. Are you okay? If the guy is treating you bad in relationship, the thing that he's supposed to worship you, he's treating you bad, and you are still optimistic that when you get married, he would change, you will die. Today, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be gentle. Yesterday, they said I was upset. My sisters and my brothers, being optimistic is good. But like Tisha said, don't let it cloud your judgment. Most of the things we need to survive on earth has already been given. And the reason why you are not getting those things for your life is that you probably do not have a certain knowledge. You do not have a certain skill. You do not have a certain network. You do not have a certain exposure. You do not have a certain experience. These are the 5 reasons why you probably are not getting the things that you desire for yourself. It's not about lack of optimism. Go and learn. Beyond the learning, go and get some skills. Beyond the skills, go and network with people who would find you worthy and vouch for you. Beyond that, get yourself in situations where you are building experience. And beyond the experience, get exposed. Don't remain in your own circle and be optimistic. Get out there. See what is happening. Let it open your eyes small. Optimism is good. But what has it profited you all this time? Get up and walk. Like the leper said, if we stay here, we're going to die. If we go in, we probably will die. Whichever way, we'll better go in than die here. It's the same thing. If you leave him or leave her, you'll be lonely. But in the relationship, you are still lonely. And you see, it is worse when you are not supposed to be lonely, but you are lonely. You see, that's even worse. At least when you are single, you know that Charlie, no issue. So you are there by yourself. But when you call somebody your partner, your man, your woman, and you are still lonely, that's even worse. So why are you still there? Anyway, thank you. This has been my lunch break, and I've brought you 3 out of the 7 positive things that if you overindulge in will probably end up being negative. The first is having ideas. Second is making friends. Third is being optimistic. So, if you missed it or you're just joining us, go back, watch, and then share comments on what your thoughts are. Is this guy making sense? Or he's trying to impose his knowledge and ideologies on us? I don't come here speaking out of research. I come here speaking out of wisdom and experience. And I believe that you have your own mind. Like the Bible said, after you've heard the word, go and check for yourself. So that is why if I have spent 4 decades on earth, I can spend if I spend 4 decades on earth, I can spend 40 days sharing what I've learned in those 4 decades. But go and check it for yourself. And then after that, come and share with all of us what you have discovered. So this has been my lunch break for Tuesday. By God's grace, I'll come by tomorrow where we talk about women and how amazing they are. God bless you and do have a productive day. Bye-bye.